Grace. Yes, loved one, I am here and I hear. If you could see with my eyes, you would see that you are right now, not at some future day, walking in divine health. You are right this very minute, beautiful, lovely, and full of grace. You are grace full. I can't pour down any more grace than you already have and are walking in right now. My grace is an equal measure of love, and that is unlimited, without measure, eternally and unconditionally yours. Your grace full walk will lead many into the kingdom. They will see your amazing grace and my favor and blessing, and they will turn from darkness to light, seeking that same measure of grace, favor, and blessing. I have chosen you to lead by example of grace. Therefore, you need never even ask for grace. It is now yours in full measure. I have filled you full of overflowing with an abundant, everlasting supply. Grace is not yours to give away. You can't even share your supply of grace with others. It comes only from me, and it is my decision and my choice. You can only share by showing others the beauty of grace, the grace I have so willingly and joyfully given without measure to you. My beautiful, gracious, graceful, chosen one, you are to me. The Lord is patiently waiting for you to come to Him so that He can show you how kind He is. The Lord earnestly waits, expecting, looking, and longing to be graceful to you. He wants to comfort you and deal kindly with you. The Lord is waiting to show you His love, His loving kindness, His compassion, and His mercy. He will arise to pardon you. The Eternal longs to favor you and show you His grace. He will consider and has considered you His Son. He will conquer you to bless you, just as He said, for the Lord is faithful to all His promises. The Lord is a faithful God, a God of fair judgment, and a God of justice. A God of justice. The Lord always does what is right. God takes the time to do everything right, everything. Blessed, happy, fortunate, to be envied are all those who earnestly wait for the Lord. All those who expectantly look for Him and long for Him, all those who hope for His favor, His victory, His peace, His joy, His love, and His matchless, unbroken companionship will be happy. He blesses all those who trust in Him. See? Let us fearlessly and with assurance and with the fullest confidence draw near to our gracious God. Let us come boldly to the throne of grace, the throne of God's unlimited, unmerited favor, that we may receive mercy for our failures. There we will find grace to help for every need, appropriate help, well-timed help, coming just when we needed help. We will find God's spiritual strength in our hour of need. Let us be brave and come to God's throne where there is grace freely flowing. There we will find mercy and grace to help us in every situation. Read Hebrews 4:16. Also read 2 Corinthians 6:1. As God's partners, God's collaborators, as Cooperators with God, we labor together with Him, sharing in God's work as fellow workers. We beg you not to receive the grace of God in vain. His grace is the merciful kindness by which He exerts His holy influence on souls and turns them to Christ, keeping and strengthening them. As God's co-workers, we appeal to you, we beseech you, do not receive God's grace to no purpose. Do not fail to use the grace of God. Don't reject the message of God's great kindness. Make good use of God's kindness to you. Don't squander one bit of it. The marvelous life God has given you, we entreat you, don't let God's love poured out upon you receive an ineffectual welcome or be wasted. Listen. Ephesians 2:4-5. It is because of His great love for us that God is so rich in mercy and abundant compassion. He has loved us with a wonderful, intense, and incredible love. With what an excess of love He has loved us. What an excess of love He has loved us. We are saved by His grace, His unmerited favor, and not by our achieving it. God's wonderful kindness rescued us when we were dead, slain by our own sins and offenses, our transgressions and trespasses, our faults and shortcomings. With immense mercy, by His loving kindness, He has quickened us. He has raised us up and made us alive together in fellowship and union with Christ. He has made us live again and called us to share the life of Christ. He has given us the very life of Christ Himself. He has given us the same new life with which He quickened Him. For it is by His grace, His favor, His mercy, and His great love, which we did not deserve, that we are saved and delivered from judgment and made partakers of Christ's salvation. Read Colossians 1:6. The Word of God is bearing fruit and still growing by its own inherent power. The good news is increasing and spreading throughout the entire world. Everywhere it bears fruit, just as it has reached you and remains with you. It does not diminish or weaken with time, but gets stronger and larger. This same gospel is changing lives everywhere, just as it changed yours when you heard about and understood God's great kindness and grace. You came to know grace and undeserved favor of God in reality, deeply, clearly, and thoroughly, becoming accurately and intimately acquainted with it. You came to know experientially God's grace, His gracious intent, and what a wonderful kindness truly means. The Word of God is producing lovely lives like yours all over the world. His grace